Gonzaga Hoops is brought to you by Northern Quest Resort and Casino. The clock never winds down at Northern Quest. Enjoy Vegas-style gaming, millions in monthly jackpots, great restaurants, spa, and luxury rooms. Plan your winter getaway at northernquest.com. And welcome back. There's a shot of the University District Gateway Bridge. I'm quite certain that shot's never made television before, so we're already making history here tonight. Way to go, Tom Holmberg. Thank you for that shot. Tonight's starting lineups brought to you by Numerica Credit Union. Suggs, Ayayi, Kispert, Watson, and Timmy. What a lineup it is for head coach Mark Few. Cockrell, Jenkins, Finstoon, Bell, and Bailey for the Pacific Tigers. And this is a team, Dan, that's got a lot of transfers and new pieces, which makes even the fact that they've only played 7 games even that much more difficult for them.
Yeah, Damon Stoudemire has done a tremendous job imprinting his competitiveness on this program. 23 wins a season ago. They quite frankly haven't had a chance to play much this year.
And so, Richard, Mark Few, 22 seasons as the head coach. Best team he's had? Do you know that yet?
You know, I certainly think the makeup they have offensively, Gonzaga's never had this ability on that side of the ball. They're certainly getting better on the defensive side of the ball. I believe last ranking I saw 13th in the country there. Moving in the right direction. They certainly look to be elite on both ends. It's hard to make a case against them being or not thinking they're the best team Mark's ever had.
When Pacific will control the opening tip, and we are underway. Richard Fox, Greg Heister, Dan Dickow. This is Cockrell, number 3, and Ayayi now guarding out on top.
You're going to see Pacific really control the clock. At times in the past, they have used up nearly the entire 30-second shot clock. They are not hesitant to go deep into a clock.
Bailey with that miss, and Anton Watson with his first rebound of this game. There's Ayayi. Zags in their home grays. And now Corey Kispert to Timmy, and the travel first turnover of the game gives it back to Pacific. Dan, Ken Pom does have this Zag defense ranked at 13. Is that good enough to win a national championship? When you look back at 2017, that team defensively was a juggernaut.
Yeah, that team in 17 was the #1 defense in the country based on those analytics. Travel called on Pacific against Gonzaga's three-quarter court trap, but to win or to have a legitimate shot to win a national title, you need to be in probably the top 15 range, both offensively and defensively, preferably defensively, because you've got to make stops. Virginia was obviously 2 years ago just exactly that.
Nice give, Suggs, but that pass from Ayayi was spot on.
Yeah, design play there. Timmy slides up the lane, sets a nice back screen. But to that point, Dan, this may end up being the 3rd straight year Gonzaga ranks #1 in the country on the offensive side of the ball. It's a pretty rare night where they're going to be off on that end of the floor. I'm not sure they need to be a top 10 defense to win a national championship, but they're certainly might end up there given their 13th right now.
And Finstoon able to get inside and score over Drew Timmy. Well, I'm going to challenge both of you guys. You're the basketball experts here. I want you to highlight some of Gonzaga's defense tonight, good and bad. What do they have to work on as we move towards March? And what is it that they're already really good at? Because of the old adage, defense wins championships.
Yeah, I think, you know, there's such a versatile, or have a chance to be a versatile defensive team. You can switch 1 through 4, and even at times 5 with Timmy, depending on who you're matched up with.
And that pass too far for Finstoon, so the turnover will give it back to Gonzaga, tied at 2. I think everybody can see how good this team is offensively, and the numbers are easy to find. And all these players in double-digit scoring, and Kispert nearly 50% from behind 3. Ayayi, a 60% shooter from on the floor. Is that shot off by Watson? Back comes Pacific, tied at 2.
He missed it, but I like the confidence to shoot that on the skip. He's only made 2 threes on the season, but that's the next part of his game. Defensively, he's been tremendous. He's got to get comfortable shooting a perimeter jumper.
And Watson to the rim again, and that's Suggs hard to the floor off that rebound, and he's hurting right now with 17:54 to play in the first half. May have knocked the wind out of him.
This is what Gonzaga's guards do, is See Suggs with the awkward fall, not able to catch himself or brace the impact very much. But Suggs, Ayayi, Nembhard, we expect it from Kispert, given he plays at times at the 4. But Gonzaga gets a great effort from the backcourt on the glass. We saw it right there.
Jalen Suggs, football player, tough, stays in there. Ayayi misses the 3. Finn's doing the rebound, and Pacific, the Bell underneath, but he stepped on that end line. So another turnover for Pacific, their 4th, and we're just over 2 minutes in.
And that's been their problem the last 2 games for Pacific. 21 turnovers against Loyola Marymount, 22 against Pepperdine. Even if Jordan Bell catches it cleanly, what's he going to do? His momentum's taking him out of bounds. Crockrell's got to understand that and just hold it.
Suggs short on that 3 attempt. Zags open the game now. 0 for 3 from deep, 1 of 6 overall, and Pacific now 1 of 4.
It's just much too quick a look in transition there. If you don't have a layup, if you're Pacific, they're going to want to pull it out and force Gonzaga to have to defend. Deeper in the clock is Watson with a nice pickup there off the broken play. Gets an easy 2. I mean, if you're Pacific, you want to force Gonzaga to guard. You want to limit possessions.
Finstone inside, right-hand jump hook. That's short. Suggs with it for Gonzaga. Timmy, wide open 3, bingo, and that's the part of Drew Timmy's game. If it develops, watch out.
Yeah, and only third made 3 on the year for Timmy, but you know he's going to be able to bring that, or rather build that into his game. He's got too much touch. Develop that 15-footer. The logical next step for him is behind the 3-point line.
Jordan Bell working on Timmy. Bell to the baseline. Contact inside. Missed the shot. Banged around. Watson clears it for GU. Suggs into the lane. Had his head down. And the foul called. And this will go against Pacific's number 3, Pierre Crockrell. And I think that's what really makes Jalen Suggs so difficult. He's fearless at this stage in his life, just fearless going to the rim.
I mean, for a freshman point guard, he is as physical as I have seen. He gets his shoulder down, he attacks contact, he puts the official in a position he's got to make a call.
And a chance for 3 for Drew Timme. He's trying to get the cardboard cutouts fired up.
Well, this is a design out of bounds play. Watch Watson. You see him come over, kind of just set a soft screen. That's by design, and it frees up Timme. He's so hard to keep in front of you, but you add that screen, it's going to be impossible. Timme converts a 3-point play.
And Timme already was 6 of the 10 for Gonzaga.
And you would ask about defensively, where can they get better or to look at different things. I like when they go 3-quarter court trap with Watson at the top. He can move his feet. He's got length.
Shot from the corner for 3 by Jeremiah Bailey, well short. And Drew Timme. The Suggs down the lane, and a great block, but a foul called on James Hampshire. A 10-2 start for Gonzaga, 15:49 to play in the first half. Jalen Suggs left it for Drew Timme, had all day to line it up. And he buried it. Timme off to a great start. 6 of the 10 for Gonzaga. Back in a moment. Gonzaga off to a 10-2 start against the Pacific Tigers. Tonight's keys to the game brought to you by Northern Quest Resort and Casino. The clock never winds down at Northern Quest with 24/7 gaming, great restaurants and lounges, movie theaters, luxury rooms, and more. Details at northernquest.com.
Well, Greg and I will take one for each team. For Gonzaga, handle Pacific's physical play, and then for Pacific, make shots. They're not a great perimeter shooting team.
And look, my keys here for Pacific, they've got to limit possessions. GU's 7th in the country in adjusted tempo. And then for Gonzaga, you've got to finish the possession defensively. This is a very good offensive rebounding team in Pacific. They get over 11 a game. Often that's their best offense, is the offensive glass.
And look, Pacific's had their opportunities. They're 1 of 7 to start this game. At times, it just seems like they're playing too fast.
Too fast. quick shots in transition or trying to make the perfect play. Dan alluded to it, or rather discussed it, with over the top to Bell. He's not going to do anything with it, even if he keeps it in bounds. If you don't have something easy in transition in your Pacific, back it out. Trust your offense.
Jalen Suggs using the touch to drop that free throw, now with 3 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists already.
You know, all the talk about how good he is, and he is phenomenal. He, in league play, has struggled with turnovers. He has got more turnovers than assists, and I think a lot of it is due to he likes to make the tight window pass sometimes as opposed to making the simple one.
Do you agree with that, Richard?
Yeah, I mean, I think there's some truth to that for sure. I mean, I also think you get to league, it's just a different animal. Look, these teams aren't as good as what Gonzaga saw in the non-conference, but there's such a familiarity with what you're trying to do when it comes to the league and these staffs. You know, David Stoudemire's done this a few times. He's going to know what to expect tonight. And so you've got to, I think, make the simple play at times in the league versus maybe trying to make that spectacular play. I think Dan has a point.
7 on the shot clock. Danis Jenkins from 16 rattles it in.
Nice separation on that crossover there. The all West Coast Conference freshman team a season ago, but you get the ball down the floor that quickly and find Corey Kispert. That's pretty darn good yourself.
Yeah, but you also can't allow Suggs to penetrate that deep into the lane, right?
Absolutely, flatten the defense. I think that's one of the best things that Suggs does is he throws it ahead and he also collapses it in transition with the bounce.
The second time he's done that. First time got Timmy the wide open 3.
Yeah.
Turnover number 5 against Pacific.
You get a look at Damon there, just still trying to figure out his team. I talked to him earlier today on the phone, and he said, Dan, look, we had a 24-day pause. We haven't been able to practice. Kispert, the nice layup off the cut. But I like my pieces. I just don't know how they all fit together just yet. We're learning how to work rotations and what sets work best.
Well, you see that his starting lineup accounts for 73% of their field goals made on the year. I mean, they're not getting a lot off the bench. And I think to your point, Dan, that's part of Stoudemire trying to figure out where he needs to put guys and what those rotations look like.
Suggs may have gotten a hand on that shot from deep and a foul called inside. This will go against Drew Timme.
And I think the next challenge for Pacific tonight is you're outmatched. I mean, you're going against the #1 ranked team on their home floor. He was not happy with the effort that they had down at Pepperdine. They got drilled pretty badly after starting conference play 2-0. And so he wants to see them bounce back, really compete, and see if they can make it a game and who's going to step up and make plays.
And look, I don't think I'm saying anything that the coaches around the West Coast Conference don't already know, but the Zags are 14-0. 5-0 in the West Coast Conference. They're ranked #1, one of the best teams, if not the best team right now in all of college basketball. The battle in the West Coast Conference is for second place.
Yeah, and
right,
even
so
with
Damon's trying to fire his team up to make sure that he can get as high up that.
We've talked about this over the last few years. I do think the league has gotten better. BYU has separated a little bit for second place, but you're looking at 3 through 7. It's a dogfight.
Suggs. Nice look to the cutting Aaron Cook. And Cook sporting the headband tonight. He'll go to the free throw line.
And boy, you like to see him get going a little bit offensively. Cook's been great all year. Defensively, he's just a really solid defensive guard. He knows what to, the play to make. He doesn't turn it over at a high rate, but his shot just hasn't been there on the year. Only 4 of 21 from the three-point line, shooting less than 46%, rather 47% from the field. So if they can get him going a little bit, they need a little bit more oomph off that bench, in my opinion, offensively. They're so good 1 through 5, 1 through 4, with Watson kind of filling the gap in that starting lineup. Can Cook, Nembhard come in off the bench and really provide a spark consistently?
(18-4). Jabril Price Knoll in the game for Pacific. That shot off the rim. Bell, a tough rebound. Another chance for Salazar. That falls off the rim. Cleared by Kispert.
I mean, that's part of when you know you're not a great shooting team, attack the offensive glass.
Timmy faked the three, drive and finish with the left hand.
The feet on that drive. Oh, for a guy his size, he's just got such great feet, good balance. It worked right around Bell for the easy layup.
Drew with 8 points. Jenkins to Salazar, foul called inside. And Salazar, a sophomore from Panama, will make his way to the free throw line.
I'm sure you've been there for one of your many fishing trips, huh, Greg?
Where? To Panama? Not yet. Although there's some great sail fishing in Panama. Yeah. There is some great opportunities for an angler in Panama. Free throw short by Salazar. 3-star recruit, medical redshirt last season, injured his Achilles, but one of California's top 15 prospects. One of two from the line. Brock Finstoon, number 24, back into the games. Salazar to the bench. Andrew Nembhard on the floor for Gonzaga. Timmy spins to the baseline, back into the paint, back to the baseline, and scores.
You talk about footwork on the last play. I mean, that was equally impressive, if not more, the balance, the reverse pivot.
And listen, a lot of talented players on the floor for Gonzaga. Some are, world-class shooters. Some have world-class quickness or the ability to jump or run. Timmy's feet are world-class.
Balance and just the rhythm in his footwork as a post player. Awesome.
Bell did a good job standing up defensively that time. And now Timmy inside. No bucket, no bucket, although it was impressive to watch. Drew doesn't agree.
How is that not a bucket?
They waved it off. I think we should look at the replay because it was a play of art. It was artistic.
Well, he gets the mismatch here on the switch. Here's the whistle and just chucks it up. I think Timmy's feeling good tonight. We're going to start 10 points, perfect from the field, 4 of 4.
The silly thing when you look at Gonzaga's stats individually, 4 players averaging double figures, and all those guys are shooting better than 50% from the field. So who do you try to take away? One of those guys is going to step up and have a nice night.
Zags 5 of 6 from the line now to start this game. And really, wanted to. Oh, Kispert had a chance on that rebound off that free throw miss, but missed it. 23-5 our score. And Richard, we should welcome Dan. Those of you that may have been watching on CBS Sports earlier today, listen to Dan call St. Mary's in San Francisco, and now as Nembhard hits the corner 3 for Gonzaga, a 26-5 start. And Dan now here calling a game with us.
He's committed.
He is.
I don't want to miss a chance to work with you guys.
That's
it's
right.
always great.
It's appreciated. And he's already warmed up, you can tell.
Well, Nembhard doesn't need a lot of time to get warmed up. Get down the floor, space it, corner 3. Zags running away with it early.
Or go online today.
Gonzaga beat of the game brought to you by Pulse Heart Institute. Whether you're at home or in the Kennel, Multicare's team of doctors, nurses, and specialists partner with you all season long. And guys, we're going to take a look at the artistic Drew Timme.
You want to find a comp for him in Gonzaga's storied history. I don't think there is one. I'm not sure Gonzaga's ever had a frontline player with this level of skill inside and the footwork. I mean, he's so patient. The spin, he counters. Bell does a good job, and just the reverse pivot, gets it off the glass, puts him in the spin cycle. Dan, for the old dogs listening to the game tonight, I mean, Kevin McHale, growing up, that's who I watched a ton. It reminds me a lot of McHale's footwork inside. I mean, McHale, obviously a different player in a lot of ways, but that footwork is just that impressive to me.
Yeah, the balance, the footwork, the reverse pivots, the spinning off of contact, I would agree. Jeez, Greg, you got us agreeing a lot early tonight.
I don't know what's happened. Crockrell working on Kispert. Got inside with a right hand. Pretty little move and finish.
Well, he's quick. Not much of a scorer, although a career high the last game against Pepperdine with 19 points.
Umar Ballo, number 21 on the floor for Gonzaga. This is Nemhard. Ayayi. And a foul on Kispert. A moving screen, I believe. Pacific basketball, 11:38 to play in the first half. Corey Kispert. I tell you, there's been so many great years now here in this program. So many great players, so many great teams. I think Kispert's one of those guys whose legacy will live. Like, we'll remember Corey Kispert brightly in 10, 15 years from now because of the fact that he was here for 4 years. We watched him get better. He's earned his way into the top 15 picks possibly in the NBA draft. Like, we're going to remember Corey Kispert for a long, long time.
I got 4-year-old twins, so I barely remember last week. So forgive me. I know Dan's senior year was had set the benchmark.
Yes.
And I'm sure there's been others. I can't recall them now, but you're going to be hard-pressed to find a guy that came through this program, came back, and has had the type of senior year Corey Kispert's having. I mean, unbelievable this year.
And I think a big part of it is he's grown as a player each year. He was challenged defensively to improve early. He did that. He was challenged to become a more consistent shooter. Now he's one of the best shooters in the country, and he's added the ability to handle it, make pick-and-roll decisions, and finish off the dribble. Tremendous year so far as Nemhard knocks down another three.
And Nemhard been a lot better from three.
He really has.
In conference, 6 of 14 coming into tonight, 43%. Struggled in a non-conference, but starting to shoot it at a higher clip.
And that was his goal coming into the season. Really wanted to work on that three-point shot. He's a guy that averaged 11.2 points a game, 5.6 assists. A season ago for Florida, a really good team.
A really good team. He's a 2-year starter at Florida, and he completely buys into being the second or the first guy off the bench as Paulo gets the nice block at the rim.
And great outlet to Cook. He's got Ayayi trailing. Ayayi with the rebound. He stripped it out of bounds. It'll be Gonzaga ball.
That's a really tough shot in transition there from Cook.
It's a little out of character, but look who digs out another possession. Joel Ayayi.
Yeah.
He's just in constant motion. I mean, we haven't touched on it yet, but his triple-double at Portland, I mean, we've had comments before, hey, he's close, and we all kind of figured he'd be the first Zag to do it, but he had that with about 17 minutes left.
That's what was ridiculous about it.
Ballo to a cutting Ayayi. Shot was blocked by James Hampshire, but Ayayi fouled, and Joel will go to the free throw line. And be honest, when Joel Ayayi first showed up at Gonzaga, if you were betting guys, would you believe that he'd have these kinds of seasons for Gonzaga?
Well, I thought he would be a nice player. Would I ever think that he was going to grow to be the guy who would have the first triple-double, average, 12.5 points, and, be talked about as an NBA guy? No, I didn't. But I did see potential to have a nice career.
Look, it's important to be good and have some natural ability. He has both of those things, but he is the poster child for sticking it out. I mean, he could have left, could have gone back home, could have found another opportunity. Did not get a lot of opportunity on the floor his first couple years. It could have easily gotten frustrated and just left. But he's really stuck it out. He's gotten better. I think it's a great story for this program to tell kids as a recruiting them is, hey, if it doesn't happen for year one or year two, that doesn't mean it's not going to happen for you.
12 on the shot clock. Ayayi with the defense. Down to 7. Crockrell inside, but lost the ball. Nemhard with it. Kispert transition 3 on the way. Bingo.
This is where they're so difficult is GU. You turn it over or take a bad shot, they are gone. They are going up the floor. You just can't get back in time. They can beat you at the rim, dribble drives, or right there in transition from the three-point line.
And Kispert just in a place right now where you're shocked when it doesn't go in.
I mean, that's the truth.
It is the truth.
If you shoot 70% inside the arc, effectively 50% from the three-point line. I'm not a stats guy per se, but that's a pretty efficient offensive numbers as we see here in transition. Nemhart with his head up. Kispert rather fills in there on the wing and knocks it down.
I mean, he's hit 2 threes, both identical. Different spots on the floor, but they bang off the back of the rim.
Well, his balance is tremendous. As a shooter, if you're not balanced and have good footwork, you're already behind. You have to catch up with your mechanics on your upper body. You never have to worry about him being on balance.
Shot from deep is off. Ayayi battling for the rebound. It's off of him. Jeremiah Bailey was there.
But then they may have reversed that call, Greg.
They did. It's off of Bailey. Gonzaga basketball. Joel hurting a little bit. You know, more on Joel Ayayi. It's my opinion, been around this thing these years. I don't know if I've seen a player in a Gonzaga uniform that has more speeds than Joel, from patient to up-tempo. And also, I don't know if I've seen a player in a Zag uniform where the game seems to slow down to the point when he's got the ball. Well, everything is so, it's almost like it's in slow motion watching.
I just don't think he gets sped up, and Dan can talk about that better than I can, given how much he had the ball in his hand. But I think you reach a certain point as Nemhart takes it through from the corner. At some point as a guard, the game slows down and you just don't get sped up anymore.
And look who was back to contend. Suggs at the rim. Ayayi was there as well. They're going to count the bucket.
Because Suggs pulled on the rim, it's an automatic goaltend call, even though the basket was made. But on that point with Ayayi, he's got a high IQ. He plays at his own pace. Nothing does speed him up. And with the way Gonzaga practices and drills scenarios, with whether it's pick and rolls or coming off screens, they've worked on going against every single read you can imagine in different ways. And so it really just becomes, you read it, you react it, you've done it enough, it becomes second nature.
And there's a travel against Gervais Green. But a moment ago, newsflash, Drew Timme missed his first shot. It's going to be 4 or 5.
Pull him out.
You better get him out of there.
You better stick around after the game and get some work in on that low block. I'll tell you what, this is a nightmare of a start for Pacific. 4 of 19, 21% from the field, 0 of 5 from 3. And 7 turnovers.
And Julian Strother on the floor for Gonzaga. Number 0. And I think foul called on number 12. Gervais Green, the officials over now to look at the monitor. And I'm sure they're looking for flagrants. Yeah, they're looking to see if an elbow got too high, we're being told. Well, guys, 8:14 to play in the first half. Gonzaga already up by 24, 34-10. Another look at it. Green wearing number 12. He and Nemhart. Yeah, Green kind of did get that elbow up, didn't he?
Yeah.
Right there, that little push. See it right there?
Yeah,
Nemhart did a good job selling it, but that elbow is up, and I think the rule's kind of clear.
It'd be a flagrant 1. It should be 2 shots in the ball. That's a frustration foul, though. Yeah. You know you're down 34-10. Things aren't necessarily going well. You're struggling as a team to score, and you're being told, keep fighting, keep grinding, fight through screens, be physical. But there's a way to fight through screens. Do your work early. Get your shoulder down at the hip of the screener. Not going up above the shoulders.
All right, they just called a timeout. 8:14 to play in the first half. We'll take a timeout. Gonzaga up 34-10. Tonight's Arby's fan trivia question brought to you by Arby's, your delicious neighborhood meat crafter. Stop by Arby's today. We have the meats. The Bulldogs roster full of players from foreign countries, including the United States. How many countries are represented on Gonzaga's roster? 4, 8, 6, or 5. And the world-class Barrett Henderson just ran up the stairs like a gazelle to talk to Dan Dickau. A flagrant 1 has been called, Dan.
Yeah, so that will mean 2 free throws, and Gonzaga should have the ball as well. We get another look at it.
It's on Gervais Green, number 12.
Just a little extra coming through that screen. But if you're a Gonzaga fan, you've got to love Nemhart as a guard, willing to step in on a bigger player instead of screen. It's been kind of a thing that's been passed down in the Gonzaga program from John Stockton all the way through, that as a guard, you must be a great screen setter.
Nembhard short on that first free throw. Let's take a moment to point out Barrett Henderson right now. He is, for those watching at home, he's the sports information director here at Gonzaga. Replaced the great Oliver Pierce not that long ago. There's Barrett.
Terrific hair. He gets his haircut at the barber's.
This is the best SID in the business. You know, when his game notes comes out, takes you 3 days to read through them. There's so much information, so many numbers. He's so, like, that dude is great. I don't know what they're paying Barrett, but it's not enough.
Give him a raise.
There's Jalen Suggs. Deep three. Oh, I tell you, when he starts doing that, he's unguardable.
Made the correct read.
Yeah.
Defense goes under. You stop behind, and as a young freshman, he's got the strength to shoot it well beyond the three-point line.
Well, he's got to keep shooting. 2 of 14 coming into tonight from league, but we know he's a better shooter than that. If you got to get out of that slump by continuing to be aggressive from the three-point line. That's a nice sign for GU.
7 on the shot clock. Bell a long way away, got it inside. Shot up and off by Bailey. Rebound up and good by Danis Jenkins.
A small lineup here for GU. Timmy up front and effectively 4 wings on the floor for GU. And that's where you're going to be susceptible is on the glass as Nembhard knocks down the tough little floater there on the baseline.
Andrew Nembhard.
What a get he's been for Gonzaga, right?
They almost got him out of high school. It came down to Florida and Gonzaga, and you know the way that Gonzaga recruits, if you don't choose Gonzaga, they're okay with it.
Yeah.
It's not going to work out for everybody at every other school, and if you pick them after some struggles in another place, they'll be glad to have you. It worked out great with Kyle Wiltshire as well.
Strother with the defense. Shot was missed by Bryce Noel.
Oh, they missed the high-low with Timmy. Had a great seal on the high-low look.
Joel wide open. Defense never came. Timmy pokes it into the corner. Out of bounds. It'll be Pacific basketball. Zags 13 of 23 to start this game. 56.5%. Pacific 26.1% from the floor. So again, Gonzaga, according to Ken Palm, the most efficient offense in the country. We talked about Ken Palm having them ranked at number 13 defensively. And Suggs, the deflection, but staying with it is Jordan Bell. He dumps it through. And then the takeaway. Yes, it is a takeaway by Jenkins. And the drive down the lane is off by Bailey. Strother was there defensively to contest the shot. Nembhard. Bounce pass. Ayayi. It falls off the rim. That had been great.
Even though he missed it, that cut was impressive. Just the understanding of when to cut and where. Can't teach that.
And let's point out that Dan Dickau doesn't get that excited about much. Honestly, and I'm not being funny. Like, Dickau really just got excited about that cut from Joel Ayayi.
I mean, the point guard Nembhard, you've got to have the vision to see it, but the timing of the cut from Ayayi, it completely caught Jordan Bell off guard. Jordan Bell starts recovering back to the other side of the paint where he thought Ayayi is going. Perfect timing, perfect cut, just didn't finish.
Well, it's instinctual for Joel. Yeah. Guy drives, I'm cutting.
It's IQ, right?
Yeah.
IQ.
Shot goes up, I'm
here
going
we go.
to glass.
Anton Watson, the run out and the one-handed hammer. Watson with 4.
But those are the turnovers you can't have if you're Pacific. The ones that lead to runouts and easy buckets.
Jenkins to the post. Timmy there to take it away. Suggs on the prowl to Kispert. Suggs, high corner 3, way off. And back comes the Pacific Tigers. Under 5 to play first half. Bryce Noel looking to the bench. 14 on the shot clock. Bell sets the screen. And he'll shoot the 3. He's 9 of 18 coming in on the season.
Yeah, nice touch for a front court player at his belt.
Kispert, catch and shoot is off.
Good challenge there from Bailey on the wing.
Well, Jordan Bell is a player we've seen before. Grad transfer from Loyola Marymount. The COVID shutdowns for Pacific have probably impacted him more than anybody, is what Damon Stoudemire said, because a big guy like that, you need practice for timing and to stay in shape.
Why are you looking at me when you say that?
I was looking at Greg, actually.
Okay. Well, I didn't play. Timmy, in and out. But Dan, you brought up Jordan Bell, played at LMU 33 games from 2018-19 for head coach Mike Dunlap. Free throw line jumper from Price Noel is off. Suggs. Timmy.
What a pass.
Boy, Bell turned his head for a split second. Suggs saw it and got the pass.
Look, you know, it's a double going away, going down to get Kispert coming out to the three-point line. And Kispert comes off so quickly that you've got to honor that as the help side defender. It just frees up that little slip cut, or rather that little slip to the basket there for Timmy.
Danis Jenkins hits the corner three. Loose ball. Timmy has it poked away, and a foul is called. 2:55 to play first half. Zags up 44-19. Drew Timmy with 13 points. The find from Suggs. That's pretty easy for this team. Back in a moment. 44-19, 2 minutes 55 seconds to play here in the first half. Boy, that Bulldog looks menacing outside the McCarthy Athletic Center. Greg Heister, Dan Dickau, Richard Fox. Here's your Arby's fans trivia answer. The question was how many players from foreign countries, including the United States, how many countries are represented on Gonzaga's roster? The answer was 6, Zags 3. United States, Canada, France, Lithuania, Mali, and Russia. So there you go. But that's been the case for a while now. I mean, they've recruited planet-wide. Yeah, Tommy Lloyd jumps in the space shuttle, and next thing you know, he's over in Europe.
Well, they've made a real commitment. I mean, you guys had the same stories with Tommy. It's a Tuesday, and he's booking a flight for the next day to go to Europe to see a kid, meet with the family, whatever it is. They've been committed to that pipeline for well over a decade, and it's paid large dividends.
It certainly has worked. And Drew Timmy at the free throw line. He's 13 points tonight, 5 of 7 from the floor, 3 rebounds, 1 steal. 1 of 2 here. And he is replaced by Umar Ballo.
Well, I like that substitution. Coach Few sees the matchup with the 7'1" James Hampshire. Ballo needs minutes to continue to develop, but you've got to be selective. You can't just put him out there when an opponent goes small ball.
Bailey, free throw line jumper. Jeremiah Bailey, a senior from Fairbanks, Alaska. Just up in Fairbanks about 10 days ago. Here's Suggs. Jalen has it poked. And now Ayayi with it. Again, left wide open. I know it doesn't say that in the scouting report. You got to guard him out there.
Well, it was a great screen. The defender Moore went under, and Joel recognizes when you do that, you stop behind, you get extra space, and then it's just a matter of knocking it down. Joel, another 3 from deep.
It's 37% from 3 on the year, but 72 inside the arc.
Number.
No, I know, but he's 72% inside the arc. I mean, yeah, you pick your poison, you give up the jump shot versus him creating offense for himself or somebody else with the dribble drive. I don't know how you slow this team down.
Take the ball away. Bailey just did it. Kispert, though, Grabbed a loose ball out of the air. Here's Ayayi, now to Suggs. Ballo inside to Watson. Great find. Zags lucked out on that possession.
Yeah, they did luck out for sure. Coach Few is looking at Suggs like, hold on a second, young man. You're giving it to Ballo as the trailer on the run?
You and I both were like, oh.
Hey, maybe Jalen knows something the rest of us don't. It's possible. Bounce pass inside. And free throws coming for Pacific. 1:09 to play. Explain this, guys.
Well, you got to find your playmakers in transition, and that's what Suggs does here. He finds Ballo at the top of the key. Ballo, nice jump stop, big fella.
It was textbook. Maybe we're not giving him enough credit.
Hey, that's the call of the night. Richard was spot on.
Hey, I'm telling you, my IPO, my boy Eric Nelson's already bought some stock. You guys, I could reopen it for you if you'd like.
Oh, my word. Brock Finstoon, senior from Pine Island, Minnesota, at the free throw line, 6'4", 200 pounds. Averages 11 points a game this year.
It's a guy you don't have to call plays for. He's constant motion on the offensive end, on the glass.
Joel. Anton high-low. Catch Ballo. Oh! Hampshire with a block from behind, but Suggs crashing the boards and cleans it up. But, boy, nice block by Hampshire.
He is a long kid. That's what he can do. Good around the rim, shot blocker, works hard on the glass.
Moore into the corner. Tough pass there. Great save by Jenkins. And now Bell with a drive. Bangs into Nebhard. Left it short. Ballo the rebound. Outlet far side Suggs. "15 seconds to play first half. Zags to play for one. Up 52-21. Jalen. Too hard. Finstoon the rebound. This is Jenkins. Free throw line. Tried to go to Bell. Threw a bounce pass out of bounds. 52-21 our score at the half. Gentlemen, pretty impressive. Great start, obviously, Gonzaga.
Yeah, 52 points after a couple minute stretch where it looked like Pacific was going to compete and get back in it, but Gonzaga shut the door at the end.
Richard's got nothing.
It's about as good a first half as you're going to play if you're GU, both sides of the ball.
Yeah, Drew Timme led him with 14. Andrew Nemhard contributed with 9, but the Zags hold Pacific to 27% shooting, 9 of 33. I don't know. This defense looks pretty good to me. Halftime from the McCarthy Athletic Center when we come back. And welcome back inside the McCarthy Athletic Center. Greg Heister, Mr. Richard Fox, Mr. Dan Dickow. There's Damon Stoudemire. His team's down 52-21 to the #1 team in the country. Zags are just darn good. There's Jalen Suggs. 9 points, 5 rebounds, 6 assists in that first half. Keep an eye on those stats. That could get interesting. Joel Ayayi, of course, the first triple-double, what is it, 10 days ago or so, in Gonzaga basketball history. And now Jalen Suggs on track to get it done. Will he do it? It'll depend if he's on the floor long enough.
It'll also depend on the pace with which Pacific allows Gonzaga to play. I was surprised Portland kept playing up and down that night.
Yeah.
116 points Gonzaga scored, 7 Zags in double figures. Maybe the most impressive stat that night, though, was 29 assists. Just the willingness to share the ball and make plays for others was impressive.
Anton Watson back to Ayayi. Ball poked away by Jenkins. Skipped to Kispert. Somehow it got through. Kispert's shot is blocked by Finstoon. So Zag ball with 5 on the shot clock. Kispert. I don't think the Pacific defense was ready. Ayayi had his hands on that ball. Now he's on the floor. He earns the rebound, but they call a tie-up, and it's Pacific basketball. I think that was Joel's ball. Jeremiah Bailey inbounding it. Tigers did not shoot the ball well in that first half.
27% from the field.
Was it the Zags defense or was it a poor shot choice?
I thought GU forced 10 turnovers, got 10 points off those turnovers. Really good hands, active, lot of deflections. From where I sit, I thought that Pacific just played too fast and took some really ill-advised shots there for stretches.
Finstoon long on the three. Watson with the rebound. Kispert up the Suggs. Pacific did a good job to get back in their transition defense. Not sure what that was. A lot of noise in the arena. Suggs got inside. That was halfway down and out. And the runner goes for Crockrell. Pierre, a sophomore from Tacoma, Washington. Jalen.
And see, there now, teams are going to start going under Jalen Suggs consistently on the pick and roll as Ayayi knocks down that three. But as we've talked about, Suggs has struggled shooting it from the three-point line, especially since that Iowa game. Teams are going to go under, dare him to shoot. He's still learning how to be consistent as a shooter.
I would just be careful with that.
I would too.
So how would you guys guard him? Because I think that's the best. I think you go under a pick and roll and make him prove to you that he can consistently make jump shots.
I'm not arguing with what you're saying at all. I'm just saying, like, I just wouldn't leave him open. That's all I'm saying.
Well, you can't do what Crockrell did on the previous possession.
You got to pick your poison with some of these guys, and I agree, Dan. I think with Suggs, which if you're going to give up anything, it's going to be that jump shot, particularly with the way he shot it as of late. I mean, 12 of 25 in non-conference. He's really struggled to start league play.
Gonzaga coverage of the game brought to you by Primera. Primera, proud partner of the Gonzaga Bulldogs. Zags now 8 of 16 from behind the three-point line. Nembhard in transition. Here's your coverage of the game. Kispert, bang. I love his shot. Boy, it's so cool when it goes in.
Nembhard, a true point guard, head up, surveying all his options. Well, I think that's a safe one. Maybe the best shooter in the country, Corey Kispert, trailing on the left-hand wing.
You know, I didn't get a vote. If I knew that was coming, I thought Ballo's jump stop and dime was a pretty good coverage. But hey, nice play there from Nembhard, one of the best guards in the country when it comes to taking care of the ball. Just what a luxury for GU to have effectively a starting point guard coming off your bench.
Yeah.
Here we see that press again. Dan, you said in the first half, this is a look you'd like to see more often. I'd agree with you. I think this is a nice way for GU to force teams to eat into that clock a bit and force some turnovers.
Jenkins with a nice snag. Now Finstoon. Kispert got out there, but not a time shot missed, though. Watson the rebound. Suggs with his head up. Ball poked away, picked up by Watson. Here's Joel. Ooh, turned down an open look. Drew Timmy goes at Bell. Bell, nice recovery defensively. Watson, Anton from deep off the front of the rim. Timmy runs down the loose ball. Kispert draws the foul. He'll shoot three. That'll frustrate you as a defender, right?
Yeah. I mean, that's something you don't see a lot at the college level. Right. You get the guy in the air, and then you initiate the contact after he's committed to being a smart player.
I can't. I mean, I love Corey Kispert, and this is not a reflection on him. I can't stand that play. That's not a natural shooting motion.
Yes,
it's
true.
This is where the game's getting soft, is on the perimeter and stuff like that. If he goes up to shoot it straight up in a normal motion and it gets hacked like that, that's a foul. But he's leaning a foot and a half one direction to force that contact. It's an epidemic at the next level.
Well, they can't keep it straight at the NBA. I mean, you stick your leg out, boom. It's.
I mean, come on.
They'll call an offensive foul for the kick in the NBA now. But I know where you're going with that. I mean, that was an over-exaggeration by Kispert to get the call. But based on the way the rules are, it was the right call.
I mean, but is the rule that I can jump in any direction as much, whatever distance I want in my shooting motion, even if it's unnatural and it's a foul?
Yeah.
Greg, help me out here,
No,
brother.
I agree with you in the fact that I like there needs to be more understanding from the officials what is a basketball play and what is not.
It drives me absolutely crazy, as you may be able to tell.
Loose ball. Jenkins on the floor for Pacific. Tigers with an opportunity, and right down the lane and scoring is Pierre Crockrill. Feed to the post. Timmy the catch.
The left.
Reverse.
The hands and just the patience.
Boy, oh boy, we are watching the evolution of a monster.
I know we touched on it at the halftime. Like, people get all excited and they talk about different projections at next level, whatever it may be. But if he plays 4 years at Gonzaga, which I truly hope he does, his numbers are going to be absolutely off the charts.
Kispert into the corner. And the ball, it is saved, but right to Suggs. Great play over there by Bailey. The lob to Anton Watson off the 3-on-1. A little helter-skelter results in another Watson dunk, and it's 62-25.
And a good response tonight from Watson. 8 points, 4 rebounds after he struggled against St. Mary's.
Jenkins. Suggs there with a little help defensively. Runner by Crockrill falls off. Timmy the rebound. His 5th of the game. Jeez. Scoop with the left hand.
That's just unfair. A 5-man bringing it up with the creativity.
He's a good basketball player.
Oh, he's not good, gentlemen. Are you kidding? 10 on the shot clock. Into the corner. Crockrill. Suggs right there. Got a shot off, but missed it. Kispert trailing, another 3 on the way. Kispert with 14. He's 3 of 4 from downtown. And the smile is finding the way to his face. 67-25. Zags up big. It's poetry at the McCarthy Athletic Center. Number 1 Gonzaga up 67-25 against Pacific. 14:58 to play in the ball game. Greg Heister, Dan Dickow, Richard Fox. Here's a look at the AP Top 10. Gonzaga 14-0. Baylor with a nice win today against Oklahoma State, although Cunningham did not play in that game, but it was a close game at the half, but Baylor remains unbeaten as well. What jumps out at you at the top 10? Who else on there do you think could sneak up and get Gonzaga if they play in the NCAA tournament?
To me, Gonzaga, Baylor, and Villanova are clearly the 3 best teams. Gonzaga number 1 in the AP and in the coaches poll, but in the net, which is a lot of what the NCAA selection committee uses to form their seeds in the NCAA tournament. In that, Baylor's the 1, Gonzaga's the 2. And with Gonzaga being in the WCC, their ability to play high-level games that impact positively their strength of schedule, that's something to keep an eye on if you're a Gonzaga fan.
Dominic Harris, number 55 on the floor for GU. Justin Moore, number 25 on the floor for Pacific. He's got the ball. Jenkins, 10 on the shot clock. Three on the shot clock. Timmy there defensively. Jenkins got him in the air, but too late. Missed the shot. Shot clock violation. I'm going to put you both on the spot. The whole country wants to see Gonzaga Baylor. I'm not one of those people. I like the suspense. I like the wonder. I want to wait to the championship game or the Final Four to see those 2 teams play. Who wins if they play today?
That's a tough one. I mean, Gonzaga and Baylor both had openings this past Thursday to maybe get it done after the game initially was canceled, but it would be impressive. It would be amazing if both teams were able to get to the NCAA tournament undefeated and neat.
Timmy?
How did that go in?
Don't miss it. It just goes in.
The last commercial break just in awe of Drew Timmy's footwork, his hands, and then he comes out and flips that one in.
He's from a different planet.
Well, I think, Greg, you got to bring the line you gave us at halftime, or in that break, to the masses. He's got feet from heaven.
Yes, he does. He'd get anybody in the air. Like his fake, he is so good. He's got 20 points in this game, 7 rebounds. Dom Harris. Nembhard. And Drew Timme called for the foul on the reach. And according to the official stats, that's just Drew's first foul. I thought he got one in the first 10, but maybe not. That's impressive too. Such discipline. I don't know. I just, Drew Timme to me.
You need to be his agent when he's done with Gonzaga.
Watch him play. Like,
I'm sold too.
He gets everybody in the floor jumping. Like, he'll be under the basket. The point guard will be jumping on his face.
You jumping on the broadcast
I'm
table.
jumping. I'm up here jumping. Green. Bell. Jordan Bell's a good player. 6'8", 221.
Yeah, he's got good touch. Can stretch it out to 3. He struggled some tonight, 3 of 8 from the field, but he's active on both ends. He's a nice pickup for Pacific this year, coming out of LMU.
Drew Timme, he'll go to the free throw line. Foul called either on Green or on Bell. It's on Jordan Bell. And that's his 3rd personal foul. 69-27. So, guys, if you're Drew Timme, and obviously the dream, the goal is to play in the NBA, and you've always got to get better. Are you working on more post moves so that you become Kevin McCall? Or is today's game going to force you to work on the 3 more because you've got to be a guy that stretches defenses at the next level?
I think he's got to stretch his range. I think that's going to happen. He's just too skilled, and you see his form, his ability out to 15 feet. I think for him, a lot like Corey Kispert, it's going to be physical. It's going to be, he's going to needs to get stronger, a little bit bigger. You don't want to get bulky where you lose some of that mobility, but he certainly needs to get stronger for that next level. But his offensive skill level is certainly good enough at that level. The question is physically, can he compete at that level, and then defensively, if he adds that strength and some of that ability physically, does that help him defensively at that level?
Stan, the floor is so spread out in today's NBA. Right?
Without a doubt.
There's all that space for him to get his little jump hooks off. And
well, then you also got to look at, he's never going to be, and I hate saying he's never going to be, but you have to be a special player to be a post-up player in the NBA these days. And you have to be a part of an organization that has a philosophy to do that.
Yeah.
And so he has a throwback game where that's where his strengths are. You see the other things that make you think that, hey, he can do some things because of the spacing of the floor, that he can play in pick and roll spaces where he's the short roll guy, being a playmaker as well. I think anybody in this day and age, with that great pass behind the back.
No way. But it was the pass. Jalen Suggs is falling down under the basket, and he throws a strike to midcourt to Dom Harris. We got to save that highlight. We got to watch that again.
We already used our play of the game, and then Richard wasn't happy about the ball.
We need to queue up another one. Zag defense collapsing in the middle.
But to finish the thought on Timme, I think he will need to develop a little more consistent perimeter shot, maybe a corner 3 or a trail 3, but terrific player.
Wow, 73-27. Another look at it. Watch Suggs falling down. Watch him throw the strike to midcourt. And then, well, we missed. This is the behind the back dime.
Relax, Greg.
Wow.
Take a breath.
Yes.
Take a breath, buddy.
Oh, man. With Coach Few and legendary TV commentator Bill Raftery. Onions. You can catch more of that interview on the next episode of the Mark Few Show. You can watch it on Sunday night at 6:30 on KHQ, as well as Monday night at 5 on Root Sports, and 7 p.m. on SWX. Bill Raftery, one of the best in the business.
He is.
Famous guy. One-liners. But we talked for, I don't know, half hour, 45 minutes the other day. And just a cool dude. And if you're a fan of college basketball, you know who Bill Raftery is.
And the Zags go man-to-man.
He's got all the best little one-liners. And you talk about a guy that can start and stop, right? He's got great speed in what he delivers, and then it's slow, and he's got comedic pause. There's Bell in and out. Harris the rebound, and Finstoon fights it for him. And the foul is called. Gonzaga basketball. And I hope we get to see that entire sequence again. And we just saw Suggs falling out of bounds past the midcourt, and then the behind the back dime from Drew Timme. To me, that's the highlight of this game. One of the best we've seen this year.
Jeez, another great
Nembhard with a left-handed pass.
Well, the cut on the weak side. The action, Strother coming up for the back screen on Timme. But on that weak side along the baseline, Joel just decides to slide in under the rim. An excellent delivery there from Nembhard. Easy two.
Dan, with your reactions tonight, like, I'm getting the sense that this is a team you would have loved to play with.
Oh, the way they share the ball, the way they space the ball. And I think Coach Fuse evolved offensively, where we used to run a lot of sets and we still ran flex. But the continuity ball screen is tremendous for somebody in ball screens that can shoot. Pacific just active on the glass.
Yeah, there's some physicality right there on that possession.
But the way this team plays on the offensive end, who wouldn't want to play because of the spacing and the ability to make plays in pick and rolls or in space.
Harris throws it up and in. Dom, a chance for three.
Just saw the quickness there on the first step. My goodness. Jab to the right and just explodes to the left. Look at that.
Harris at the line. Jalen Suggs, guys, just check back into the game. So the triple-double update. Jalen now at 9 points, 8 rebounds, 8 assists.
26 minutes.
Harris, the three-point play. There's Aaron Cook. Suggs already on the floor, along with Ballo and Ayayi. Jaylen Brown. Jenkins.
Nice curl. One dribble pull up.
Did a great job. Had to reach for that pass too, but it was able to get back on balance.
Coach Stoudemire really thinks he's got a bright future. His numbers, as far as percentage-wise, don't dictate the ability that he has to score. He thinks he's got a bright future in Stockton.
Strother missed the three. Battles for the rebound. No bucket. No bucket. Foul on the floor, they're saying, before the shot, but Strother with enough strength to get the ball back to the rim. Julian's going to be a player here as well. He's going to fight through that.
I mean, Julian's just a player right now who's caught behind an All-American in Corey Kispert. Yeah. So where are you going to get minutes?
Harris behind top 5 pick.
Ballo. Foul called on Jordan Bell. But, you know, to talk more about Strother, I talked to him earlier this season, and Kispert's what excites Julian Strother, because he knows what Corey has done here at Gonzaga, where he came here as a 4-star recruit, really good player. Not many were projecting him to the next level, and yet Corey made himself into that. So now I know Julian has those desires as well, those dreams, and he's in a place where it can be possible.
It makes a lot of sense. I mean, the Gonzaga players that come before the current or next generation, they lead the way. They set the tone for work ethic and how to conduct yourselves as a part of this program, and it's a trickle-down effect.
Salazar lost the handle, and it's kicked. So possession stays with Pacific.
But, you know, what an opportunity for guys like Harris and Strother. I mean, this is effectively a redshirt year, right?
Yeah.
You know, if you would be burning a year of eligibility. I suspect both. Certainly one, if not both of them, likely would have more traditional redshirt experience. They actually get to play in some games. They're working on their game outside of just what Gonzaga's trying to do collectively, and you get an opportunity when it presents itself to actually get on the floor and try to apply some of that. I mean, what a gift for some young players.
Suggs with his 9th rebound. To Ayayi. Joel missed it, but he'll shoot free throws.
I think Suggs is aware he needs a couple more assists because he was pulling for that one as it danced on the rim before falling off to go in. How would that be? It takes all these years to get one triple-double from Ayayi, and then about 2 weeks later you get a second.
It's like when the 4-minute mile was broke. Took a decade or more, and all of a sudden everybody was breaking it every week. But look, this team is so good offensively. They share the ball so well. We shouldn't be shocked by it. We were shocked that it hadn't happened in Gonzaga history prior to that. When you think of
some of the great players, Blake Stepp in particular to me comes to mind because of a big guard who can make plays and rebound. Domantas Sabonis might have been a guy who would have had an opportunity to have a triple-double.
Matt Bolden,
another one,
Ronny Turia was shot blocking, rebounding, scoring. But I am sure. I think Blake Stepp's the guy that comes to my mind right away. The way that he played and how he set up his teammates, and he was a big guard that could rebound. I'm shocked he never got a triple-double.
Blake never just put it all together, obviously.
Blake, well, he never practiced. I mean, he had injuries. He would be sitting on the sideline with trainer Steve DeLong.
Had he only worked out, that Blake Stepp.
What could have been?
(80-31). Brown, that three is good. 2 of 6 coming into the game from downtown. Sophomore out of Portland, Oregon.
Only his 3rd game of the year tonight.
Jalen into the paint, trying to go to Ballo. And it's Pacific basketball when we come back. 7:55 to play at the McCarthy Athletic Center. Gonzaga on the verge of their 47th consecutive win in this building. The Hoops is brought to you by Numerica Credit Union. This season, Numerica Credit Union is proud to celebrate every Gonzaga assist with a $100 donation up to $7,500 to Children's Miracle Network in support of local sick and injured children. Numerica Credit Union. Life moves. Live well. And welcome back to the McCarthy Athletic Center. #1 Gonzaga up on Pacific 80-34. We've been talking about triple doubles in Gonzaga history. Just one of them, of course, back on what was the date there? The 7th of and anyways, against Portland. Joel Ayayi had it. There's too many numbers on that for me to read. But like we've been shocked that nobody else has had one. And of course, Blake Stepp, you think about him right away, Dan. He got close.
He did twice. He had a game in January of 2002. 13 points, 9 rebounds, 9 assists. Another with 14 points, 8 rebounds, 10 assists. A couple other names that kind of sniffed around at a triple-double. Stephen Gray. Anthony Reason actually just needed 2 more assists and 1 more point.
You said Santangelo got close too, right?
Yeah, Santangelo had a 14, 8, and 9 game.
Rebound for Suggs. Now at 9 points, 10 rebounds, 8 assists. Strother for 3. In and out. Follow the rebound. Shot is blocked. Long rebound out to Jalen Brown. And he'll slow it down. Zags transition defense good. Bronkrell on the drive. He's fouled by Julian Strother. Richard, you got close once to a triple-double. Tell us that story.
Highlight of my career as a freshman. It's pretty much downhill after that. Yeah, we played Cal. That was at Colorado. 20-some-odd points, double-digit rebounds, 7 assists. My teammates just couldn't make a shot. It was their fault.
Yeah.
It's all on my fan page. You can check it out.
Where's that? I got to find that.
Jaylen Brown. Suggs another rebound, now 11. Coast to coast. Shot was blocked. Outlet to Jenkins, and he scores through Dominic Harris. I'd like to see if this was a goaltend at the other end.
No, that's clean.
Good shot, good block.
Good reaction by Jordan Bell. And while we're on the topic of stats, one of the most interesting NBA stats of all time is Damon Stoudemire. 50 points in a game with 0 rebounds. Only player in NBA history to never grab a rebound in a 50-point game.
He just knew every shot was going in.
Do you think it's
pretty much?
You
want to know why?
You think his coaches were like, you got to give us more, Dame? Okay,
Well,
we love the scoring, but you got to give us more.
Unfortunately, I was guarding him a lot that night.
Oh, that answers the question. There you go. So wasn't that impressive?
Yeah, well,
okay.
So it was when I was with New Orleans. Nick Van Exel had about 32, Damon had 50, and I had to guard both of them at different points in the night, and both of their eyes lit up a lot because there was many ISOs on the wing that night.
So that night you scored 27, but you gave up 50? Is that what we're...
Basically.
Loose ball. Pacific with a chance. Cronkrell in the open floor. Got it to Jenkins somehow. Jenkins with a finish. Danis, pretty good player. Sophomore out of Dallas, Texas. He gets up and down the floor well. And he brings the effort.
Hey, he plays hard.
Suggs. Slides. And the turnover. The 9th of the game for Gonzaga.
Seems to be thinking and searching for those assists as opposed to just organically letting it happen. He plays so free, letting the game come to him almost at all times.
Dominic Harris. Here's Cook. Nice move. Explosion off the dribble. And he'll shoot free throws. And Ben Gregg, number 33, a freshman out of Clackamas, Oregon, will be checking in here for GU with Cook going to the line. Aaron, the redshirt senior out of St. Louis, Missouri, of course played at Southern Illinois.
Well, this will be nice to see Ben Gregg really in his first stretch of extended minutes. He's made appearances in 5 games, but most of those were 2 or 3 minutes. Looks like he'll get the final 6:41.
And Jalen Suggs goes out of the game and he gets a hug from Drew Timme. I think Jalen knew how close he was to a triple-double. 9 points, 11 rebounds, 8 assists. We take from the reaction that his game is over. It's done. 5:37 to play.
Well, with his versatility, there's a good chance he's in a similar position again at some point this season.
Cronkrell. Salazar. Blocked by Ballo, but a foul called inside. And this is on Umar Ballo. It's a big dude. 7 feet, 260 pounds. Not that Jonathan Salazar is small, 6'6", 250. Coming to a tight end position near you soon. 6'6", 250. That's the classic size right now.
Who you got tomorrow, Greg?
Well, I've got Aaron Rodgers because, offensive putback rebound by Jenkins. I've got Aaron Rodgers because I can't deal with Tom Brady in another Super Bowl.
You've seen that before?
Winners win.
I know, but think about that. If he wins tomorrow, he's in his 10th Super Bowl. 10.
Yeah, so you just like to hate on greatness?
No. I don't like. No, he's a fantastic player. It's just, you
want something different.
It's so much better than all of the other great quarterbacks. So where does this put Montana and Bradshaw? And your guy Elway?
What did you say it as if like I'm just randomly throwing John Elway on the list? I mean,
yeah, you do.
Only the second greatest quarterback of all time.
And then, you know, your heart is for the Buffalo Bills, but the Chiefs have so many weapons. It's going to be hard to slow them down. Plus, 3 straight years in the AFC Championship game, Super Bowl champions already. They have the experience. So I'm hoping for a Packers-Chiefs Super Bowl.
I'd co-sign on that.
Score is 82-42. Jenkins a shot. Paulo a rebound, lost it, battling for it. Cook steps in to take it away. Dom Harris now. Ben Gregg in transition, and the charge is called, and number 2 Jaylen Brown got back. Was he set? I don't know. We need to look at this.
That's
bad pass,
goes
right?
to Ben Gregg's turnover, but that's Dom Harris's fault. You can't throw the ball to a big on the run like that with a defender directly in front of him. Those are kind of the learning experiences that Dom Harris will make as he continues to go through the season.
Think about it, though. G's got 4 freshmen on the floor. Ballo was here last year, but effectively his first year of eligibility. These are good minutes for these kids.
Absolutely.
No one's going to talk about them a whole lot, but any time on the floor is a good time for these kids.
Harris. Man, what a tough rebound that is. And question I have for the 2 of you, how many teams in the West Coast Conference would love to have these 5 as their starting 5?
Probably all of them.
3:57 to play. Gonzaga up 82-42. Gonzaga Hoops Play the Game brought to you by Multicare Health System. Whether you're at home or in the kennel, Multicare's team of doctors, nurses, and specialists partner with you all season long. And here it is. Jalen Suggs falling out of bounds. Picks the ball up. He's got the vision, the arm strength to get it to Harris. The lob down low. Timmy waits, the patience. Behind the back bounce. Kispert the lay-in. That's just stunning to me.
Jokic, like I would say Arvydas Sabonis, but we've been there before.
Yeah,
been there, done that.
Isn't that in our doesn't our contract say we can't talk about that anymore?
Yeah.
You have a contract?
Yeah, they try to put as many guardrails around me as they can.
It's a good idea. Hey, so, and Dan, we should point out, and frankly, I should have known this, right? With Jeremiah Bailey.
Yeah, younger brother of former Santa Clara standout Kyle Bailey.
Really good
Had I
player.
known that in the game notes, I would have loved to have mentioned that earlier. He gave us fits.
Yeah, he did.
He was so good.
And I should have known it because Jeremiah is from Fairbanks, and so was Kyle. I should have put 2 and 2 together.
So we both messed up.
Yes, right. You know what happens. Dominic Harris. This kid's growing on me. He's got one of those great motors. He's going 100 miles an hour at all time on both ends.
Yeah, he's got to slow down, and that will come in time. What you love about him is he plays with his foot on the gas. He plays with a passion, and it's easier to slow a guy down as it is to get him going.
Under 4 to play. And Dom down in the stance, as they say. Brown, free throw line jumper, no good. Gregg up high for the rebound. Strother trying to go on the run to Ballo.
Well, that's another
deflected out of bounds.
Young, inexperienced mistake. Strother, even if Ballo catches that, where's he going? He's going to the second round with the cardboard cutouts.
The play is to let Ballo get there
and get
the ball up, at the high post to Gregg. Let him deliver the pass. I mean,
just like in the first half. Should have known where you were going with that, Richard.
Just telling it, it's the way it is.
Nice look, and the find of Julian Strother.
Straight from the Joel Ayayi school of cutting without the basketball. You know, something that I've always been told is be on the offensive end how you don't want to guard somebody, and that's constant movement.
Danis Jenkins following up his own miss. I like his motor too. Danis, a sophomore out of Dallas, Texas. All West Coast Conference freshman team a year ago. First guy in Pacific's history to do that.
He's got 9 points in the second half.
Yeah.
He's been really active, and he's a nice piece for this program.
Danis is 64% free throw shooter. He's got 16 points, 7 of 14 shooting, 4 rebounds. And Pavel Zakharov coming into the game for Gonzaga. And day is done for Umar Ballo. Ballo, no points, 3 rebounds. 3:03 to play. Greg the rebound. Arlauskas, Zakharov. Dom Harris uses the traffic, buries the 3.
3 of 15 coming into tonight. Nice to see him knock down the jump shot. He struggled from behind the 3-point line, but you just get glimpses with Harris, you know, what he's going to end up being. Pretty special.
Well, I think he's going to be great. He's going to defend. He's got that great motor.
And I like he can play both spots. You know, you can put him on the ball. You can play off the ball.
How about Strother? He's got handled in. He's going to be a versatile guy for this program as well. There's the lock. Jenkins, though, not quite able to get there. That would have been spectacular.
Stay on Strother. He over 3,000 points in his career in Vegas. As Ben Gregg knocks down the first 3 of his career. The stretch 4 who's got that ability.
Well,
I think he's going to be a good play here.
And hit it like he expected to hit it. Not even a smile after that shot going in. Strother the rebound. And Will Graves coming onto the floor for GU with 1:35 to play. Julian Strother is out. You're going to like Julian Strother in the years to come. I've spent some time with him. He's a guy that's really quick to smile. Great family guy, very close. Lost his mother to cancer when he was younger. So a really grounded kid is Julian Strother, and he's going to be a star at GU. So is Dom Harris.
Well, the first one was a great read. Defense goes under. The second one was kind of a heat check, about 8 feet behind the line. Shows his range there.
Salazar. Zakharov trying to slow him down, and foul called on Pavel Zakharov. 95-45.
And I know this is not the outcome that Pacific wanted, but you got to give them credit. They came in here and they fell down early, and they continue to compete. Damon Stoudemire, I think, is doing a great job in Stockton in his 5th year. They had 23 wins a season ago. They've incrementally gotten better each year. He's got them believing. He just doesn't have quite the pieces that a lot of other programs in this league have as far as resources and facilities.
There's Drew Timme. What a night it's been for him. 22 points on 8 of 11 shooting, 7 rebounds. He's your A to Z rental player of the game. No job is too big or too small with 8 convenient locations. We rent everything. Let A to Z rental be your most valuable player. Ben Gregg. Shot fake. Got to the rim. But commits the foul.
Still, I like it. Pump fake, can put it on the deck. It gets called for the charge, but you see that versatility. He's a really, really skilled kid. And what an opportunity. He wasn't able to play, is my understanding, due to COVID at the high school level. So why not get to campus early, get Start getting better now.
Yeah. Well, with Oregon, Washington, and California on the far west coast starting a high school season so late, in Oregon, they might not even have a basketball season in the spring. So he graduated early, was able to get up here at Gonzaga and got acclimated quickly.
Good on him for graduating early. Like, not even a thought that ever breathed through my mind at any point in time in my educational process. Graduating early, why would you want to do that?
I know.
It makes no sense to me at all.
School, yeah. Stay in school
Like,
as long as you can.
grow up early? Are you kidding?
Well, typically we have the A to Z play of the game. That's the comment of the game right there.
My dad told me once, there's no place like campus land. I think I was entering my 7th year of higher learning, getting my master's. It's like, when are you going to leave, bud?
Sakharov missed. Long rebound to Harris. And that'll do it. We won't see another shot. Gonzaga wins it 95-49. And they are now 15-0 on this season, 6-0 inside the West Coast Conference. Number one, guys. Closing comments.
Offensively, they're pretty dang good. I mean, 95 points. Number one most efficient offense in the country.
Pretty good defensively tonight, too.
Yeah, I thought their activity level defensively was on point tonight. You saw a lot of deflections, a lot of energy defensively. Not a good night offensively for Pacific. I think that played a part. But you saw it on both ends of the floor. This is the number one team in the country for a reason.
For Richard, Dan, I'm Heister. Good night. Zags are darn good.